Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this yet again, where I collect rupees and other things that I probably need so I can get the Hylian shield. So yesterday I tried to make an episode of me playing Ocarina of Time, and it fell apart because I was too tired. I got 5 hours of sleep, and I've realized that trying to say anything intelligible with 5 hours of sleep, especially entertaining an audience of people, is not ideal, I guess, which is just fucking common sense, but that's how my brain was working yesterday. That's where my brain was. So now I gotta make up for it and get a bunch of rupees and properly prepare for Dodongo's Cavern. But if anybody is still watching after the 30th second of this episode, so I've done an experiment with the Discord channel, and I've been talking about it a lot because one of the original ideas I had for this particular channel was to get a bunch of people together so we can all hang out and talk about just basically anything without fear of being judged. As many of you know, I'm not PC, and I feel like a lot of groups now have become too hypersensitive to language. I get if you don't want to say easily, indisputably discriminatory things. Yeah, I'm not for any of that, but sometimes when it comes to open discussion, I feel people are too sensitive on a lot of game servers and nerd servers and whatnot, because artsy-fartsy types tend to lean left. So yeah, I just wanted to bring everyone together and make sure that they don't have to worry about being canceled, because I don't think anybody really wants to be, and I have experience in I have experience being canceled, but I'm not gonna get into that because I just wanted to compliment all of you, yes, the people who watch this channel, because as it turns out, when I opened up the Discord and allowed people to enter the voice chat openly, I didn't recognize, or should I say, I didn't realize how smart everybody was. I mean, you guys are really fucking smart. I think I've spoken with about 3 people so far. I can name them: Imglower or I'm Glower, AZ, and Sloth, just to name a couple. Obviously Anna too. She's in the Discord, and I'm really impressed because I've been waiting for years to basically find my people with whom I really get along with well, and folks who are curious but also not stuck up, suffer from hubris or any form of I guess grandiose sense of self. And it's honestly very refreshing because I'm excited to start podcasts and ask you guys questions about your lives, because I don't know, there are people in this world who have problems other than me. As it turns out, I'm not the only one. Surprise, surprise. But this is just an open invite to all of you who watch this channel to join that Discord server, because I want to start doing little not streams, I guess streams, I should probably do that on Twitch, but just little meetings where everybody talks and we have maybe a moderator just to make sure things don't get out of hand. That would be Matt. But we're all kind of hungry for healthy discussion, and if anybody's interested, just click on the link in the description and join the Discord server. I've been trying to be live for at least 30 minutes a day. Usually I'll put a little notification in one of the chats, and as it turns out, many of you have come to talk to me, and I've been really humbled by it. But it's still really young, and I haven't done this for nearly long enough to know what I'm doing. But I do hope that maybe in the future I can gather about a group of 50 to 100 people that participate regularly, who just want to talk and create a community with me. Of course, I mean, if it gets too big, I'm not going to be able to manage everybody and speak to each one individually, but that's, I guess that's just sort of the nature. God damn it, my phone's ringing! I don't really have anything crazy political to say today, because I'm just not in the mood. I want to keep it relaxed in this session. You know, maybe discuss things slightly serious. And I'm excited for a lot of things. I mean, everybody knows from, you know, one of the earlier videos that I posted. So I have plans to go to Japan for work. I was just going to be an English teacher for a little while and get to know the culture. And I'm somewhat fluent in Japanese. I'm not great. I mean, many of you guys who know about learning Japanese, there are folks like Matt versus Japan, who is a connoisseur of that language, who basically beats everybody else in the competition, who will tell you that, you know, you need to focus on intonation, the amount of kanji, sorry, the proper way to study kanji, and like the proper method to basically learn Japanese as efficiently as you can. And I'm not like that. I would never say that I'm a master of it. And there's, I mean, I don't even really have proper certification, but hopefully, like in the future, I can get some certification so I can, you know, try video game translation. I've already thought doing like video game translation with French or something, as I actually have, you know, academic experience with that language, unlike Japanese, just like one measly semester right before boner virus happened. But you know, I'm looking forward to that. I think this is a little stupid. Are there any Star Wars fans in the audience, or do you guys hate Star Wars? If you hate Star Wars, fine, whatever. I don't really give a shit what your opinions are. There's already somebody in the comment section once who was like, "Yeah, Mega Man sucks." I'm like, no, it doesn't, but okay. I mean, this person was being a contrarian. I know that, like, I have a good sense of humor about it, so it's like, whatever. But if you like Star Wars, you might know that the Obi-Wan series is finally going to be coming out at the end of the month, featuring Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen for the first time in a, you know, Star Wars movie, or basically any form of like Star Wars live action since 2003 when they filmed together. And I grew up with Star Wars, so when I'm thinking of when I think about something that I grew up with in my childhood, that's gonna be coming out this month. It's positive news, because I'm gonna fucking definitely binge watch that shit and get kind of nerdy. Maybe, you know, sadly, not sadly, maybe watch a couple of Star Wars theory videos, because that guy seems pretty cool. I've always liked that guy. He's chill. I think that I would get along with him pretty well. That's you know, I don't know if you guys know that channel. Say about him. Say whatever you will about him, but that's one of my favorite channels on YouTube, because it's just, you know, talking about Star Wars content and you know, breaking down episodes of The Mandalorian and going into character analysis and, well, I mean, as the name says, the channel name, going into theories about what might have happened if, you know, so-and-so did that, or if such and such did this. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and then Japan basically is about a month later. I think I'm going to be going to Japan sometime in the middle of the summer. I'm still waiting to get my visa, because they're very strict about the, you know, the scary virus. Nobody gives a shit about the scary virus anymore in the West, though. It's funny. Whereas, like, everyone over in Japan they're still encouraged to wear, what? I can't get this now? Yo, what? The fuck do you mean I can't get this now? Oh, shit. That's right, the graveyard. I have to go to the damn graveyard to get the Hylian shield. Okay, whatever, fuck it. Fuck it, it's fine. We're gonna go to the graveyard. But, it's been a positive month. So, everybody knows that I live in Wisconsin. I'm gonna guess that many of you are like, you know, East Coasters, maybe you live in California. And I've been to both of those states. I've been to Los Angeles. I spent a little bit of time in New York, and I lived in Rhode Island for 4 years. So I know what normal weather looks like. You know, when it gets warm in March, and it starts getting like 50 to 60 degrees. For you Celsius folk, I think that's like 15 degrees ish, 17 degrees, whatever. But it's a positive time. Sorry, I'm not feeling as well-spoken today, because I didn't really plan on what I wanted to discuss. I just like playing video games and shooting the shit. I just wish more people would come because it'd be easier on a stream. And then once I'm in Japan, though, the videos aren't going to change. I'm still gonna play Zelda and potentially, you know, make what's the word for it? I'm gonna make videos, duh. So I'm not sure if anybody wants to hear about Japanese culture, if they want me to talk about the Japanese language, and you know, any particular social issues that I might come across in Japan, because I have to. I know a lot of people want me to do what I want, and I am doing exactly what I want with the videos right now. I mean, I was really surprised that anybody wanted to watch me play Ocarina of Time in the first place, because it's a Nintendo game from '98, and I think that most streamers play you know, PC games, PlayStation 4 games, and retro games is kind of like for a niche audience. But that's just because I grew up with a first generation gamer who played Atari 2600 and NES when he was a kid, and then yeah, who's very familiar with you know, old retro games. Anyway, I'm not really sure where I'm trying to get with this, but hey, Link, hey, get this guy to shut the fuck up. Probably should change the subject. But yeah, if Japan's irrelevant to you guys, I don't want to just become Chris Broad, because anybody can just look at his channel for extremely good content on living as a Westerner over there. And you know, I don't want to sound ignorant or anything before I say anything potentially debatable about living there, but I'm still excited nevertheless, and maybe I'll stay for a year. If I really enjoy myself, maybe I'll just stay and build a life in Japan, and if it ends up being really difficult, which I'm definitely expecting, I'll just come back. Damn it! I'll just come back here and maybe... I don't want to stay in the Midwest. If it's not too terrible, move back to the East or the West Coast. Although a lot of people say that Texas is like pretty banging right now. I don't know, man. I don't know what I want to do with my life. Does anybody else know what they want to do with their lives? Like, I'm 24, and I think that the demographic of people who are here right now, maybe 17 to 22. Like, one of you guys was 16, another one was 18. I don't remember the... don't remember the third person, sadly, which is, you know... I don't want to say that's unfortunate, but... it would be helpful. It would be helpful to know, just so I can get a better idea. But anyway, that's it's pretty irrelevant. I initially went off to school because I thought, okay, I'm 100% sure that I want to be a creative, and I know that drawing is the skill that I have honed in the most since, you know, childhood. I'm also a musician, but more self-taught, whereas I think that my drawing skills are somewhat, well, I mean, now they're properly informed, but oh my god, this is so terrible. They're properly informed, and yeah, I was confident enough to go to school, get a degree, and spend 4 years with professionals so I can get a job. And then, well, pandemic hit. Here, let me put it this way. So when the pandemic hit back in March 2020, the most unfortunate thing that happened to me was there was a job fair at that school. There's a job fair at my school, and my school was, you know, relatively well known. It was Rhode Island School of Design, and I was hoping to maybe get a job at like Hasbro or Disney or something. I was not up to par, by the way, at the time. Still not, in my opinion. I have so much that I can improve on in my own visual art. But that said, the thing was canceled because I think it was in April, and the end of the world was March. So, as that happened, I basically lost all of my opportunities in relation to the school. At least I thought so. I think there's like a website that could potentially help me out still. I haven't really given that any thought. But as a result of that, I'm like, okay, well, what's the second thing that I've wanted to do? I've wanted to go to Japan and learn Japanese, because I'm also like kind of a language nerd. I don't want to, you know, get too deep into it, but yeah, I know how to speak English, Japanese, French. I used to speak Portuguese okay, because my ex-girlfriend, her mother's Portuguese, and I lived with them for a year and a half. And after her mom would say, like, you know, interesting things about me. I mean, she was just getting frustrated with me, but I knew she would say things about me, and I got a little frustrated with that. And I knew that Portuguese was a Latin language, so I said to myself, "Fuck it, I'm going to try to learn." And you know, through conversation and paying very close attention to the way that she spoke, and having, like, you know, watching the occasional YouTube video, I got to a decent level of conversational fluency in a year. And yeah, that's why I say, like, I speak Portuguese okay, but I haven't used it probably since 2019. I can still understand it. I can definitely read it, but I haven't had, like, a use for that particular language in the longest time. But anyway, so Japan, yeah, I wanted to get into languages and see if I can find some stable income doing that. But my heart, honest to God, is entertaining. I really like entertaining and doing creative things. And this is definitely my first attempt of going on the internet, attempting to entertain people that seems somewhat like, you know, banging. Everyone here is cool. Like, I'm all about it. It's a fucking blessing, man. That male loneliness video that I posted back last October was a spur of the moment thing. I never meant for that to become like a what is it? A big video. I just thought of what was I doing at the time? I was watching Rollo Tomasi, Entrepreneurs in Cars. And I was a little inspired. I was like, okay, these guys seem like they have some you know, helpful ideas. Despite, you know, a few things that I don't find true. And so I made the video on male loneliness because, I mean, one, it spoke to me, and two, I was like, well, this isn't something that's really particularly talked about, so I posted, and then within like a month of posting it, boom, it blows up, and I have you know, a bunch of people who are interested in my work, which is great. But yeah, at the end of the day, I never wanted to become like a red pill channel. I don't want to be a grifter either, like where I just make videos specifically for money. And this might be, I don't know, maybe it's naive of me to say, because I know that you do have to think about marketing to some degree when you're on the internet and you want to, you know, do something consistent. But they're just, like I was talking about Star Wars theory a little bit earlier, right? So, like, you know how maybe that guy seems annoying to a lot of folks. I've read it on Reddit a couple of times that he's like, all he does is go on Wikipedia and Wikipedia and read articles and then make videos off of it. And I know that he makes money, and you could say that he's sort of a for-profit guy if you look at how many channels that he has for himself. But there's like something that seems sincere about his presentation. He just seems down to earth, and I like that. Because, I think... Okay, well, that didn't work out. There seems like to be something very sincere about his presentation that I don't know, I don't want to emulate or anything, but you can just... It's a gut feeling. Whereas, you know, someone such as Jeffree Star, thank God I don't watch his stuff. And when I watched Jeffree Star, you know, like that one time, maybe about 4 years ago, I know the guy's a billionaire and he's great at marketing, but the one thing I always found, you know, kind of unattractive is, you know, I felt like we weren't talking to the real Jeffree. Or maybe we were talking to the real Jeffree. Maybe that's just who he is, but there seemed to be an element that lacked in sincerity, in that he wanted to present himself as holier than thou. You know, like, I'm Jeffree Star, and I own my own makeup company, and I'm cool, and I'm, well, I don't want to bag on the guy or anything. Like I said, I do respect him. It's just, I don't know, you get that air of, like, I'm better than you. And I don't like that. I like to be around people and be like, hey, dude, just like you. We're on the same level, man. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just dicking around. That's the shit. That's what I live for. There aren't enough people like that anymore. It's like, too many people are so obsessed with the self-image that I don't find, like, a lot of sincerity in folks online. And I think I just bring it full circle. The 3 people with whom I spoke on the Discord were all extremely genuine, like overwhelmingly genuine to me, and I was like touched by it because I've been craving sincerity probably since I was in college when I got a lot of crap for being too open about my political beliefs, and then everyone shut me out. I know that I'm like going all over the place with this conversation with myself. But when I just have to make a specific video documenting how that all went down back in 2018. But after my reputation was kind of wrecked for, well, speaking openly about how I feel about, like gender, racial identity, nobody wanted to talk to me anymore, and I heard so much shit about me behind my back, but nobody would, like, confront me about anything in person, you know? The problem aside, like what I said aside, I'm going to get to that in a second. The fact that I honestly do not remember one single person walking up to me asking, hey, I didn't like what you said on the internet. Can you talk about it with me? I'm like, sure, man. Yeah, let's sit down and let's clarify a couple of things. I'm happy to have a debate with you, even if we don't agree. If you're open-minded enough to want to potentially inform your perspective about what happened, inform yourself about what happened, that's enough for me to know that you're probably cool. But if I can just get into what I talked about, it was about white privilege, I think. I think there's a pretty one-dimensional take on it, by the way, but I remember getting really irritated with people at school at the time when they would say, like, oh, well, you have white privilege. They would say, like, you have white privilege, and then they would insinuate that, like, I need to be, not only do I need to be aware of it, but that I need to apologize for it. And I think that, like, now I have a much more nuanced perspective on what people mean when they say white privilege. And that is, like, you know, they just want you to be aware of how your identity, or the way that how your appearance potentially affects the way that you're treated in society. But it got deeper than that, because they would say white privilege and essentially insinuate that they're also they have it worse off than me, even though they don't know anything about me. I mean, I've gone through a lot of crap in my own life, and for someone to just like use a blanket statement to basically invalidate my own problems by virtue of what I look like, that bothered me, you know? I don't like the term white privilege, but I'm not gonna go into some rants about it or trying to debunk it, because I know that there are people who feel strongly about that sort of subject. But here, the point I made was I would rather judge a person by the content of their character than their group fostered identity. So if you're African American, it's like, fine, you're African American. There's a conversation to be had about that, but I want to get to know you for you first, because if you, what the hell was it? Like, see, I think I'm disagreeing with myself from back then. I just didn't like it when people were like, oh, well, you're white, therefore XYZ, and you have to, well, shut the fuck up. That's how it sort of sounded. Yeah, that was it. It's like, I want to be able to have a conversation with somebody without them taking my race into account, such that they won't take my opinion seriously. Like, you can take it into account, because I definitely think that it affects your experience. Like, if you're Mexican American, if you're African American, if you're like Irish or German American, obviously your identity is going to affect your outlook on life, and it's important to be somewhat aware of that. But I don't believe it's relevant to every conversation, and I also don't believe that if you are of a certain identity, if you are of a certain group, as these people would say, that you are thereby not allowed to speak about certain topics. It's the same thing here. So I'll give you one. This might actually surprise a lot of people. So here's a shocker. I'm pro-choice, right? I think I would lean more pro-choice. But you know how, like, a lot of pro-choice people will say, like, you can't have an opinion about that because you're a man. Like you know, men want to control women's bodies. And I'm like, well, you know, just because you can have an opinion about something logically that's not related to your identity. Like, yeah, I mean, I can't empathize with a woman who's pregnant and has a child inside of her. that shouldn't mean that you can't participate in the conversation. You know, I feel like that's a lazy way of shutting down the opposition to your argument. Because, like, you know, I know that pro-life people really do not want you to, well, remove the fetus from the woman's body because they believe that it is murder. They absolutely 100% believe that it is murder, and because they believe that, it is terrible in all circumstances. Where I kind of stand with it, I guess, if I can just, you know, clarify my own position, I think I'm like libertarian about it, where maybe this is lazy myself. I'm like, I just don't care. You know, if a woman wants to do that, I suppose she should have the option. I'm not gonna tell her what to do. I'm not gonna tell like a whole generation of women, or like I'm not gonna tell women in general that they are not allowed to, you know, have an abortion if they want to. I don't feel passionate about it. And because I don't feel passionate about it, I say that's why I lean pro-choice, because I feel like when you're pro-life, I hear a lot of passion from those people. Like, it is absolutely murder, and you must not do it because it's morally and ethically wrong, and yada 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 yada. I get it. I just don't know if I care enough to get deep into that. If anybody wants to argue with me about any of these topics, by the way, please leave a comment or join the Discord, because I'm sure that my perspectives sound pretty ignorant right now. I'm trying to be aware of that. However, you know, it's just... Oh, 1 second. I don't think I'm going to be on this for too much longer, but... Yeah, I don't know if I really care enough to participate in that debate. It's like, I don't know, I hear this sometimes. There'll be like a very contentious issue at hand most people are engaging in passionately. And then there's the other guys like, I just don't care, it doesn't... Whatever, you know? Does that make me bad? Does that make me a bad person? Yeah, it probably does. Some people are gonna get really mad at me, but at the end of the day, what is it? Like the Stoics. You know the Stoics? I was watching Ryan Holiday's Daily Stoic on Instagram maybe about a couple of weeks ago, and I came across the quote, "You always have the option of not having an opinion." You know, and you do. Sometimes you just don't have to care. You don't have to have an opinion. You don't have to feel strongly about something. I like to talk about things because it informs my my knowledge, informs my perspective, but I'm not... Maybe this is a personality flaw, if you will, but I tend to listen to people so much so that I think others know more than I do, and then when I speak about what I believe in, what I think, it sounds like I'm trying to convince myself just as much as the other person. I don't know if that's a good thing, because I want to sound confident, but it's not always easy. It's not always easy because, well, if you want to be persuasive in your own worldview, you kind of have to have some conviction, but... Maybe talking about politics isn't really like I don't know, like a thing I should engage with too much. I don't know. But yeah, if I could just sum up everything that I said today, yeah, I got canceled at my school campus because I said on like recorded video that I believe we should judge people on the content of their character more than the color of their skin, and I think it was like distorted in crap, and then it was distorted to the point people started saying I was erasing or ignoring the experiences of black people, and I'm like, what are you talking about, man? I'm not trying to do that at all. I love people. I think people are great. I mean, not all people, and I get fucking tired of people sometimes, but you know, I'm pro humanity, and it just kind of hurt my feelings a little bit when I was, you know, making a point that I care more about someone's personality than their racial identity, and then it would just turn into this whole, oh, you're racist kind of thing, like the whole cliche cancel culture thing. And I think I recovered from it, but I don't know. Do you guys have anything to say about that? Do you think I was wrong to say that we should judge people more on the content of their character than the color of the skin, in the sense that, like, I don't know, does it sound like I don't care about your identity when I say that? Because that's what I hear. It's like, oh, you don't care about my identity. You don't care about the struggles of my people when you say that you're, by proxy, you are, well, ignorant. And I think I disagree with that, but I don't know. I'm trying my best to listen more to people, because I don't know, having opinions is a tough thing, and you don't want to look like an asshole. You don't want to look like an idiot. I don't like to double down on things that I'm not sure about, so not going to. But hey, that's, oh god fucking damn it. That's about all today. Oh wow, this is like a first edition of Ocarina of Time that I'm playing, because it still has the Muslim moon and sun, or moon and star. Anywho, well, I think I'm gonna stop right here. I'll probably post this episode either tonight or tomorrow, and we can shoot the shit at another time, guys. Oh, and by the way, join that Discord, because I'm thinking of doing streams and voice chats there. I really want to hear the people who are engaging with the channel, because I don't know, it's cool to meet people. Yeah. Okay. Peace out.